Hey, what's going on? YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be breaking down if VLAD the Nightborn, the Void Legendary Fusion, is as bad as a lot of people are making him out to be. I personally don't think he's bad at all, but without further ado, let's break it down. Okay guys, so the presumption of this champion of why I see a lot of people, even the reviews, which I don't think you should be following as a guide anyway, why I personally believe he's not trash. Is he up there with Trunda and Jembo and Solus and all of these amazing nukers? Possibly not, but if you're still in the progression period of your game, mid-game, early game, and you went for this VLAD Fusion, I have built him in a way that most of you could possibly relate to. I could have went and just got my best Savage gear off my other champions, but I wanted to do something that's relatable because I personally wouldn't put my best gear that I have on my account onto my VLAD the Nightborn, if that makes sense. So this is the build, even though I'm showcasing it, is what I'm going to keep him in for faction wars, the Doom Tower if I choose to use him, or just some occasional arena nuking, maybe the tag team arena. So let's briefly break down his kit. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar by now. So he attacks one enemy, decreases the target's max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. This right here for me is an instant Scarab ability. If you are struggling with the Scarab, this part of his kit could definitely help you out. And the fact that he can heal this champion by 30% of the damage inflicted definitely is a nice little touch to that decrease of enemy max HP right there. Then heading into the A2, he attacks all enemies and applies a 75% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns, and you can book it up to a 100% chance. I've chosen not to book this champion yet. I wanted to give a brief overview to see if you want to go for it with investing your books or not to. So he also has a 75% chance of stealing 50% turn meter from the champions from these factions. Bit RNG, bit situational, but hey ho. And has a 75% chance of decreasing the turn meter by 50% instead for targets not from those factions. So regardless, turn meter reduction on the Fire Knight, if that's something you're struggling with, he could be a nice little throw in for you. Also to clear the waves, even the Doom Tower bosses like the Dark Fae, reduction on the turn meter is going to help you out. Maybe not the Spider, unless you're really struggling with taking down the Spiderlings. In the arena, you could drop that turn meter down and also soloing the campaign. So overall, the RNG of sealing the turn meter instead of decreasing the turn meter is okay, I guess. That's the only way to put it. In terms of the A3, he attacks one enemy 2 times and has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense and a block active skill debuff for 2 turns. And if both debuffs are placed, places that perfect veil buff on his champion for 2 turns. You all know me by now, I'm a really big advocate for perfect veil. I enjoy it personally. Also, this one takes some books to get it down to a 3-turn cooldown, but that's what I kind of wanted to showcase today. Do you really need to use books to use your VLAD? Also places that revive on death buff on his champion for 2 turns every time this champion kills an enemy. I tell you what, if you build him in a similar way to this, or if you're endgame, you put your savage kits etc, he's actually killing quite a lot of people, and you'll see this revive on death proc more than you kind of expected to when you first reading the kit. Then he fully heals his champion and fills the turn meter by 50% every time they kill an enemy, which is nice, but it says here will only heal and fill this champion's turn meter when Constantine the Dayborn is on the same team. So just bear that bit in mind here guys. In terms of the aura, I'm not a big fan of this part. I really wished if they was going to do this, put it all battles. He's a Void Legendary, so it's okay. If you're struggling on crit capping your champions, it's a nice touch. But let's be honest, in the arena, we all want to use our speed lead champions. Because if you go first, 9 times out of 10, the battle's going to be over in seconds. So what I've done for you guys today is a build that most of you could relate to. I hope so anyway. So I've gone 1 perception, I've gone 1 speed, and I've gone an off-piece set. Just trying to aim for some stats here. I've tried to make a nice blend. So 31,000 HP, keeping that sustain in dungeons, etc. We've got a 4,000 plus attack, 2,300 defense. His base defense is pretty nice. Then we've got a 212 speed. Because he's unbooked, I personally believe you should have him a little bit fast just to make up for the cooldowns not being there. We've got that 100% crit rate, which you should be aiming for. 241% crit damage. Resistance, I haven't really focused on that. And then I've just got the amount of accuracy to participate in stage 20 dungeons and most of the players that you come across in the arena, especially nuker champions. I didn't want to go well overboard because if we head in here, my Great Hall is kind of highly developed and I think it's just unfair to showcase 400 accuracy, 350 accuracy. So this is the build I chose to showcase today. So if you're interested in the stats, we've got speed and crit damage. Perception, by the way, My personal favorite gear set in the game. Really easy to farm through the faction wars, and when you're mass loading it with like your speed glyphs and all this stuff, really nice kind of gear set to have on your account. We've got crit rate here, crit rate on the shield, we've got crit damage on the gloves with some crit rate substats, and then we've got attack percent on the chest plate, which is what you want to look for, and then we got attack percent on the boots. If for some reason you find yourself in the realm of 140 speed because you're trying to get attack percent boots, it just depends where you are in the game, but if you are struggling, potentially just put some speed boots on and you'll still be able to perform perfectly fine for you. You just may not see the numbers you're going to see today. In terms of the banner, we've got accuracy with some speed, we've got crit damage on the amulet, and then we've got attack on the ring. Unfortunately here we went full HP percent, but that's pretty good for survivability. And in terms of the masteries here guys, we've got the offense tree heading down to the helm smasher, and if you do have a Prince Kaimer, I do recommend Opportunist because he increases damage inflicted to targets with stun, sleep, fear or true fear or freeze by 12% if you're opening up with that sleep debuff, potentially even a Cornelia. Extra 12% damage could come out really helpful for you. So Opportunist I'm a really big fan of, and then we've just gone the support tree heading down to Master Hexer, just to add a bit of extra accuracy, right? So we're going to head into a Fire Knight run, which I think is fun to watch, some arena battles, and then showcase his skills. Actually, let's start with that first. Let's go. So we're going to traditionally go into the normal place, 12-3 brutal. This is where most of us like to farm. And let's see what VLAD the Nightborn can do for us. So we're going to put this down to a 1 speed. So this is his AoE attack, which has a 75% chance of placing a leech and doing the 10 meter reduction. Pretty nice ability. Look at those bats. Completely one-shotted with that wave there. 50,000 plus damage on each wave. That's pretty nice. This is the A2. 37,000, and we got that revive on death, which was in his passive every time he kills an enemy, which is a nice touch if you find yourself dying most of the time. This is the A1. I really like that ability there. And it does hit pretty well. 44,000 with no debuffs. That's pretty nice. Let's just click this on auto now. 52,000. 29,000 there. We're just going to finish them off, hopefully, with an AoE here. Come on, Vlad. There we go. So, Revive on Death's proccing. We're killing down the waves. It's a speed farm if I do it on full auto. It's around 20 seconds or so. So, overall, you can't get weak hits because he's Void. And he's definitely a great option if you're a mid-game player trying to progress in the campaign. Let's head into the next area. Okay, guys, so what I'm going to do is throw in my traditional team. But I'm going to throw him as my main nuker. Bearing in mind here guys, I do not have Savage. I haven't put my endgame gear on. I've just put a gear set that most of you guys can relate to. I'm hoping so anyway. So this is traditionally what I like to use. My Arbiter lead, increased attack as well. We've got the decreased defense and decreased attack. We've got the Kaimer for the sleep and the reset. And then we've also got our VLAD the Nightborn. We'll go for around 5 battles or so. Let's do it. So we got our increased attack. Sleep. Let's just put this down to a 1 speed now. And boom. Upwards of close to 90,000 there, guys. That's pretty substantial, right? If you do not have an AoE nuker and you went for this fusion, definitely a really solid option. We'll go through 5 battles or so. Let's see how many we can just one-shot. I'm just going to slow it down for the damage once he takes his turn. I'll bring those bats out. And boom. Same again. And remember guys, if he didn't manage to kill them, Kaimar's going to reset, he's going to go again and he's going to smack again for you. That's if you got a Kaimar that is, or a reset champion. Let's head into the next one. Okay, come on. Alright, put it on a 2 speed. And boom. Same kind of deal guys. Of course, if you're platinum, you're not going to look at the Dayborn as your main nuker, right? 120k there. But he's more of a progression champion. You're trying to get to gold 4, sustaining gold 4. You don't have the best AoE nukers. You may not have a Jembo, who I personally would choose over a Vlad as my main nuker. If you don't have a Trunda, guys, definitely build him out. If you spend your time trying to go for this champion, don't think that he's useless. He really isn't. Look at that, guys. This is not even in Savage gear. So let's head into the next area of the game, and then we're going to wrap things up, guys. Let's go. Okay, so we're going to take him into this stage 20 of the Fire Knight. I'm not going to take it into 25. We got Rorik, who I personally believe is also really underrated. We got our VLAD the Nightborn, decrease defense and weaken. Kutrax are there just to kind of speed things up with the shield. And then we got Cold Heart. Let's just keep an eye on Vlad and see what he's doing for our team here. 10 meter reduction. We got the Leech to keep us sustained. We got the New King. Here he goes. Respectable 61,000 around the board there. Then we got that one there, applying that revive on death. And there's people like Eru who could one-shot your team. If he's got revive on death on and they're targeting him, it can work out pretty good for you. Decrease max HP. I really wish I could showcase that on Scarab. Scarab isn't in this one, is he? In this rotation. I haven't really been playing much Doom Tower this one. Okay guys, so we've just got through to the boss now, and Kutrax is going to be taking off that shield. And then we can see Dayborn smack him with his 10 meter reduction. If we can get around to there. Also a double hit on the A1 or the A2. Could add towards that shield. That weaken from Kutraxer. Very nice there. Decrease defense and weaken. Heartseeker coming out. That ability does pretty well, right? I really want to try that on Scarab. Come on, Scarab, come out for us. Then we just got the... There we go. Leech and decrease turn meter. So having the Leech on him, if you cannot keep that shield down 100% of the time, could come out useful, especially in some other bosses. So we're just closing in on that 2-minute mark, which is okay. And there we go, guys. Heartseeker at the end there, and we got a trash piece of immunity. It's actually got speed on it, so I might try my luck with that. But overall, guys, 800,000 in comparison to the other champions. Pretty substantial. So yeah, that is going to be all for the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I just didn't want you guys feeling underwhelmed with a champion that you worked really hard for in this fusion. Especially summoning all of your shards for Summon Rush and Champion Chase events. Don't think he's not super S tier for a nuker that he's useless. He really isn't. 10 meter reduction. Leech. He's got the enemy max HP for Scarab. He heals himself on the A1. And he also has that AoE, which can nuke pretty hard, built in the right gear. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.